big hello to my Telechakka viewers. My name is Sandip and I am with my camera person Amar Mehta. And today we have with us the very talented Mr. Saurabh Shukla. Hello sir, welcome to Telechakka.
Thank you very much.
I have been a film student and I was a part of a very renowned government registered film institute. Very clearly during one of my classes, as in initial classes of my film institute, there were a lot of films that were screened, and some of those films were enacted by you. Whenever you're there on screen, I mean, you do something to your characters. I mean, you immerse yourself completely into the characters and you just work magic. How do you manage to do it?
I don't think that anybody knows that how it happens, why it happens. Yes, of course. I mean, there's a point of view of life, and I guess that starts reflecting. So if people get a smile when they watch me on the screen, or in all my characters, if there is an element of humor, so I guess that it's the way I look at life. So that's how it happens.
In one of your interviews, you did say that, I mean, if you look very closely, you'll notice that most of the characters I have done are all hilarious, are all humorous. But to a certain extent, I'd say that, I mean, while what you said is right, there is an element of a darkness as well. Don't you, differentiate?
Okay. I always, and I know this, that all the characters which I have done, they are pretty serious characters actually.
They are, absolutely.
They are very, very serious. And I don't play the comedy there. I mean, what I rely on is on the situation. So the situation itself is funny. Like for example, in Satya, there was this sequence between me and Makarand Deshpande, that Kallu Mama is drunk and Mule, the lawyer, they both are drunk, and Mule throws a beer bottle. Mm-hmm. And I say, why did you throw the bottle? Why did you do that? You know, don't you feel that somebody will get hurt? Now, coming from a man who kills people, that he is worried about people will get hurt because of a bottle, it's funny in itself, you know. So I don't think that I do comedy, but I see the inherent humor in that situation, and that's what I play.
Sir, you started off as a pretty serious theatre artist. You moved on to the NSD professional wing, after which Mr. Kapoor, cast you in Bandit Queen. How was it working with Mr. Kapoor? Can you relate some of the instances of working with him?
Shekhar Kapoor has a huge role to play in carving not just my physical career or anything, but he has carved me as an artist. My foundation, yes, of course, I was in art and I was doing things, but after I met Mr. Kapoor, I got a new path to follow, and there were certain ideologies which I heard from him and I experienced working with him, which then later I kept following and I kept doing that journey, and it became then my journey and I do it. So I very fondly remember those days. Bandit Queen was amazing. That was my first film.
So if you have to kind of differentiate between that era and the present era, the era that we are in, what would be, the main points where you would, place your bet and say that, okay, fine, this is a completely different boat from what we used to, experience in our times?
So I think that the only difference between that time and this time is that the technology has changed. We used to work on celluloid and now we work on digital.
Digital, exactly.
So that's the only difference. Otherwise, I don't think that human beings change so much. I mean, they just keep saying that they change, but they don't. So passionate people were always passionate, and they will remain passionate, and they will be a similar kind of people.
So it's all about the journey, not the destination. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there is no destination. The destination is finally when you exit. And I don't know whether that's also the destination or not. But yes, of course. I mean, what is the destination? I mean, there is nothing permanent. Mm-hmm. You know, you have goals. yes, of course you have goals. So in journey also you have a goal, no? That you are walking and you will walk a certain distance and you will reach somewhere.
Absolutely.
But then it doesn't stop. Next morning you wake up again and you walk more.
Sir, if you could shed some light on your writing, as in we all know that the play Barf, the play that we are here to witness today, is written and directed by you. If you could shed some light on what are the nuances that you focus on while you write.
Okay, well, I started writing. Writing was not my first choice. I always wanted to direct. So when I started doing my journey in theatre, I realized that you can't direct if you can't write.
Okay.
Because you must understand what is direction. Direction is another, it's writing in that medium. So if you're directing theatre, then you're writing in theatrical medium, and when you are making a film, you're writing
for the film medium, for the celluloid.
For the celluloid, or now you don't say celluloid, you say screen or whatever. So the point is that one had to write, and thank God I started writing. And I started writing, and I was appreciated. People encouraged me, and I didn't know what I was writing, and I was just writing.
Don't tell me you didn't know what you were writing. I mean, there was such magnanimous stuff that you've written.
No, I understand that what you're saying, but it's always I always believe that it's best not to know that what you have achieved. Don't ever feel that you have cracked the code, because the day you do that, it goes away. You should know that, you should be proud of what you're doing. But if you know, yes, of course I can do it because of all this, then there is an arrogance in it. I didn't know that what I was writing, and I liked it, and people appreciated me. Now I'm very, very clear about my writing. That one, I like to tell more character-based stories rather than the plot-driven stories. All my work is inspired from the work which I like. If the film is saying one thing, or the story is saying, or the play is saying one thing, there are 1,000 layers under that. It's also saying a lot of other things. That becomes important for me, so that I try and achieve in my work.
Finally, sir, tell us something about Barf.
Okay, so Barf is a very not only an interesting story, but it's very, very close to my heart. Because see what happened, that when I decided to do a play on Barf essentially was written as a film, and then later I converted it into this thing. Whenever I want, I can make it a film. Whenever I'll get the funds and everything, I'll make a film. But I have a chance to do it as a play, and I'll do it a play.
You find a comic element to all the situations. Did you find a comic element in this play as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Because I don't think that there is any moment of life which does not have humor.
Okay.
You just have to have the eyes to see it.
Now, the second segment would be what I call a fun on Cannon.
Okay.
Where some questions would be cannonballed to you, and you have to answer those questions as fast as possible. Are you ready?
I'll try. Looking at me, you can't expect me to be that fast, but yes.
Alright, so here we go. My first question to you is, what is your favorite food joint in Bombay?
My favorite food joint in Bombay is my home.
Wow. What role do you think you would have played better if cast?
What role? I think that every role in which I'm not there and they did not cast me, I would have done it better.
Name a particular actor you want to write for.
Ranbir Kapoor.
Wow, that came fast.
Yeah.
The film whose reels should be thrown into the depths of the ocean, never to be found again.
They still have to make that film, because I guess that every film they have made, there is some kind of a passion, there's some kind of a work went on to that. So we have no right to throw anybody's work into the ocean.
An actor you want to work with in future?
Any good actor.
Any good actor. You don't really have any single actor, the name of any single actor in your mind?
No, I'm yes, of course. I mean, I know a number of.
Come on, sir, don't be diplomatic.
No, I'm not diplomatic at all. But I mean, it's not like I'm dying to work with an actor. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm more worried about my character.
Okay, I see.
Rather than somebody else's character. But it's great to have great actors on your side as your co-actors, because that's what those actors or the co-performances actually make your own performance.
One character that is played by you on celluloid and is also very, very close to your heart.
Okay, so it's like asking that which is your favorite role which you have done, which is your favorite character which you have done. So let me tell you a secret, that never ask actors which is their favorite character, because the characters are like their girlfriends. They always like the latest one.
And thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this party. I'm really glad to be a part.
Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, this is Sandip signing off with camera person Amar Mehta for Telechakra. Thank you so much.